right where the Mariachi Island is at, right above is the bridge. There's like a bridge. And so, like he had more friends and family that were right on the bridge taking video and camera. So it was pretty cool.
He planned the shit out of that because all I did was go on a mountain and say like, "Hey, that's it." Like that sounds like some hard ass work. I'm not doing all that.
Hey
shit.
man, I mean a mountain. Yes, I said a mountain though, bro. Shit.
I guess, but fuck, man, that sounds like that's a lot of coordinating. I can't even fucking fix my life, bro. So. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode. What is this? 17. I fucking remember every damn weekend.
Are you sure?
I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, it's 17.
Nah, I'm gonna check.
I promise. Nah, for real. It's 17. I swear. Anyway, this is episode.
Yeah.
I swear this is 17.
Yeah.
If it's not, I'll edit it out and fucking do the audio dub and all that shit. Anyway, it is episode 17. We are. How was your weekend? Pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. Today is a special day. If you can notice, we have it orange back here because it's spooky season officially. It is now October, so everything's looking a little scary out there.
I like it. I like the dark.
Okay, even like matched shirts. That's kind of cute.
Can.
Do with the background.
Oh,
anyway.
Hey.
Today we have our second guest ever here on CharroBeans.
One and only.
One and only CharroBeans, and
No,
this.
like guest. Well, yeah, cool.
You're really ruining it, dog. We have our second guest here on CharroBeans. Last person was Tony Zuniga. If you haven't checked that out, check it out on YouTube. But our second guest is none other than our friend Robert Casillas.
One and only, bro.
The one and only.
Say what's up? What's on?
Say what's up.
Here's it.
What's up?
Robert's a good friend of us. I've known this guy for a really long time, and we actually talked about him in one of our early episodes. On that episode, I kind of talked about how back when I met him, I met him when I was young, but when I got to Texas State when I was a freshman, yeah, I got to be a freshman at Texas State. And then right then and there, everybody started comparing us because we looked the same, but not anymore. You stayed fit, bro. And then I started.
No, I still low-key do. Like when I'm looking at Robert, low-key, I'm like.
You look like me if I kept my life together.
Nah, we still look like each other, man.
I think it's.
You look like me.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's because back then I when I met him, like we met each other very early on. We were. Well, hang on. When did I meet you? Oh, first of all, before we get into it, I guess introduce yourself, like what you do. And I know you're living in San Antonio, but kind of like what you do right now and in the mariachi field and all that shit, what you play, all that good shit.
Yeah, man. I'm here in San Antonio. My name's Robert Casillas, for those who don't know me. But I'm here in San Antonio. I'm a musician, but I've been playing mariachi for a good amount of time here. And I started here, but then I had moved to Dallas, Denton, when I went to school.
Denton, right.
And then, I moved to Denton. I met you guys there too. And then I was doing mariachi there. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to San Marcos, I think after like 2 or 3 years. Moved to San Marcos. And then that's what I kind of put myself in the Austin and San Antonio area. And then once I finished up at Texas State, I moved back to San Antonio, and I've been here ever since.
Yeah.
And I'm here. I play with the group Mariachi Azteca de America. Some people know. Mm-hmm. And
who's that?
We're the shirt.
Right.
Yeah, it's a local group there in San Antonio, right?
Local group here in San Antonio. Been together, I think, 15 years, something like that.
Time.
Yeah, pretty much long time. I wasn't alive, or
I wasn't even in Mexico, dude. I wasn't even here. I mean,
yeah, Victor was still in Mexico at this time.
Maybe just still in Mexico. But yeah, I'm still here. I play all the armonía with the group. I'm the vihuela. I play vihuela. Mm-hmm. Pues ya sabes, a veces, I have to play guitarrón, pull some bass duty,
you play
guitar.
Violin,
yeah, violin.
I started learning violin, man, and I'm starting to be able to go on gigs on violin now.
Right. Just for the record, can you name every instrument that you play, just so everybody knows? You already said vihuela, guitar, guitarrón, violin. What else do you play?
But like just mariachi or like all the instruments?
Every fucking thing. Every fucking thing.
Oh shit, man.
Okay,
what?
Whip it out.
Whip it out, dog.
I say all. Whip it out, all of them. Okay.
All of them.
Well, I started on accordion. I play accordion. That's I was an accordion player. I mean, I still am. I played for that proposal.
Yeah.
I play accordion, bajo sexto, electric bass. A lot of people think accordion was my first instrument, but drums was my first instrument. I started playing drums when I was like 5 or 6.
I think we all started playing drums. We're all just banging our shit.
Just whatever. But now, man, like I was like really trying to keep a beat and like really basic rock beat and stuff.
No, I wasn't. I was just doing my own thing.
But yeah, man, I drums, guitar. I don't know, man. Ukulele. I play harp. Oh yeah, I play harp. Victor.
Basically, what we're saying here is Robert. When I met this guy, I met you as a harp player, so I didn't even know that you played any of this shit. Like, I'm okay. So I kind of went into it, but I met you in Denton because you said you went there it was your first 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Of college, like your college career, like you went straight over there. So from San Antonio, you went straight to Denton.
Yeah, straight to Denton.
UNT is a school over here in Denton, Texas, for those who don't know. And what they used to have there, I don't know if they still do, but they had mariachi camps during the summer. And did you go to the first one or no? The very first one?
The very first one? I don't know about that. I remember going to one or two.
Because if what I'm thinking, I met him at the second one because I went to the second one. To the first one, I still hadn't met Robert.
Okay.
And if you were at the second one, I don't remember. But when I met Robert, I still remember because you had the harp. So I was just like, oh, cool. Like,
I was there. I saw that.
Right? You might have been there. I don't remember. But you were younger than me, so you were probably in middle school or some shit.
I think I was going to be a freshman. So it was like that summer where like I finished 8th grade and then I was going to be a freshman.
Okay. Well, anyway, when we met you, like I met you as a harp player, so I didn't even know that you played all this different stuff, or like the level of musician you were. But like when I saw you play harp, I was like, oh shit, because you're playing some good shit. And at that time either, I don't think I had been close to any harp player, like just to watch them play. So just to like see that up close, I was like, oh, no, that's fucking chingon. But I do remember, the first year I went, I had I don't know if you remember Jason Molina. He was the vihuela player there, Jason. And he was teaching. Yeah, Jason. Shout out Jason and Alexia. They were both there. They were both teaching. So I still remember because I think I was a freshman or some shit. I don't remember, dude. But I remember when I went in, I remember I saw you and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Because he was like new. I was like, who's this vato? You know, it's like, but then I saw him play and I was like, oh, all right. You know, like the thing musicians do, they just look at each other. Like, you know what?
Stank look.
Yeah, stank look. But I just remember thinking like, oh, because you had those pelos parados también. You had back then a hairstyle that was just like a wall of hair. So I say
thanks, man.
Well, you did something else now to it, so it looks good. But I remember, I met you and I was like, oh shit, like, you know, he's good. And I think the first time I really saw that you were like good was because I don't know if you remember, there was like little jam sessions in the lobby area, like in la noche.
Yeah,
and I remember. Yeah. I don't know if you remember, sessions. But everybody was just jamming and shit. And at that time, I wasn't exposed to much like mariachi music, like that much, you know, like so. When I was watching everybody like just jamming shit, you were playing guitar, I remember, but you were playing all these crazy chords because you were doing like, I don't know if it was Tejano shit but you were playing it like a bajo. So you were playing a bunch of like rancheras, but like with like the bajo pisadas, you know, like the. So,
okay, yeah.
So you were adding a bunch of shit. So I just remember thinking like, damn, this dude crazy. You're adding a bunch of shit that I wasn't used to, you know, like when you're a new musician, you kind of start off soft, like, you know, first, second, third, you know, all the simple shit, you know. So once you start, it really like opened up my mind. I was like, damn, I didn't know you could do that kind of shit. Well, I know you could, but I never seen it up close. So it was pretty badass. And then I just remember after that, I think I just knew you from camp, and that's when you had mentioned that you play bajo, because I play bajo, but not as good as you. I play fucking like first, second, and third.
But I mean, I don't think I knew you played bajo. I was like,
Yeah,
oh shit, and it was a long time. Like we already knew each other, and I was like, oh shit, Sammy, you play bajo?
yeah. It wasn't until later that I told you that I played bajo too.
Yeah.
But I thought that was funny because after that, I added you like on Facebook and shit. I was like, oh, this guy's cool, you know. And what was it? And so you said after 2 years you went to Texas State, right?
Yeah. After 2 years, I decided to move to Texas State, and when I got there, it was kind of it never stopped, kind of thing. Like I was I just kept on going, and I started gigging in Austin. I started gigging in San Antonio, more in San Antonio, I guess.
Yeah.
And then and I kind of just, you know, spread it out, make my name there, kind of just get to know all the musicians, because like even when I was in San Antonio, like from my high school years, I didn't really know all the mariachis, and I didn't know the musicians and the work and whatnot. So so it wasn't until I came back after, you know, Denton and San Marcos and stuff. So
and actually before you went over there, I remember too that I had seen you one more time, because I remember back when we were in Imperial. I think the owner there had asked you to come, and you came like for a practice, I think, that we had or some shit. And I remember that we were jamming like in the living room at Beatrice's house. It was like, shout out Beatrice, but we were like, it was you, me, and a guy named Mario.
Man, that picture came up on my memories. Like not too long ago, right?
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, damn, I used to be skinny. Good times. But I was just like, no, it was cool, because I had totally forgotten about that. You came once, and then we were like just jamming in the living room and shit. What were you doing?
Not there. Right.
Was he there?
No, he wasn't.
No, I was okay.
I don't think it was your timing, because I remember
was probably a freshman or something, like in 8th grade.
You're probably still playing soccer. You're probably running cross country and shit.
Yeah,
D1.
I still have my mohawk.
Oh yeah, you had your mohawk. Yeah, that's true.
Dang, I don't know Mohawk Victor.
Yeah, dude, he was.
I don't know Mohawk Victor.
He was rocking it, bro.
I'm just the old big bro.
Yeah, dude.
You gotta put a picture on that, man.
Yeah, dude.
I will have a picture, actually.
You should. You gotta post that shit.
I say change your profile pic right now.
Right. No, it was funny because like after that, I remember I didn't see you again until Texas State, because at Texas State I had graduated in 2013. So it was my first year going into like college. So I was kind of nervous because I was also going away from Fort Worth. I mean, I had been in Fort Worth like fucking my whole life and shit, or before California or after California. Yeah. But I remember I went to Texas State, and I think you were one of the ones that I already knew, like going in. So I knew you. I knew Jesse, who was playing guitarrón. Shout out Jesse. So when I came in, at least I had kind of like a safety net, you know, like, or not a safety net, but like I knew somebody there, so that helped out, you know. And it wasn't, so it wasn't until then that I actually like started like hanging out with you more. Like, well, we kind of had to. We had the class. So we had to fucking, you know, actually practice and go over the shit y todo el pedo. So, yeah. So it was. So I remember when I got there, I started playing vihuela in the group. You were playing guitar. Jesse was on guitarrón. Had a bunch of all-stars that year. But I remember it was a good time. I mean, how do you feel about those years in Texas State? Like, because you only played with me one semester, two semester. It was either 2 or 3. I don't remember exactly. Because
it might have been 3, no?
It might have been. I don't even remember, dude. Well, actually, you know what? You're right. Because we had the first one. You got out the second one of my freshman year. And then you stayed all of my sophomore year, because that's when I met Isra. That's when he came in.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I think you were there 1.5 or 3 semesters. Yeah,
man. No, that was a good time, and I remember. I remember when you came in. Shoot, I remember me and Jesse were talking about, hey man, let's go down there and, you know, let's have fun, and let's do the mariachi thing, and let's let's join the group and whatnot. But yeah, man, shoot, we had a good time. I mean, between me, you, Jesse, it was fun, you know, because we worked well together. We sounded good, and I think, I mean, no offense to all the Tech State people, but I mean, I think that group was a good group. You know, that was probably one of the best groups there at Texas State. You know, so
it felt funny though, because when I was there. When I got in, I was the young one. So I was probably like 18, 19.
Yeah, man.
So everybody else is, I think the group ranged from like 19, which was me. And then the oldest guys were like already 30, you know, so or whatever they were, you know, I don't even remember. But I remember I was the young one. So if you look at that group now, it's nothing but young kids, you know, it's kind of crazy to see the difference.
Yeah, man.
A lot of kids are going over to that program and stuff like that. Where were you?
I was in high school, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Still
he's still in middle school. I think every time we ask him, wait, where were you at? I was in middle school, bro.
I keep forgetting, like, where are you in your stage of life?
I'm doing my academics. I was probably still like, if you were a freshman in
algebra,
geometry, bro. Right?
Oh no, my bad. AP.
Yeah. He's like, I was doing my best. I couldn't get triangles down.
I think I must have been like a junior in high school. If you were a freshman.
So you weren't exactly there yet. You know what I mean?
No.
you still had to marinate for a little bit.
Okay.
You were being marinated.
Okay.
Middle school.
Oh man, no, it was a good time. I mean, like I said, we played a good little while in that group. After you got out, I think. Did you graduate? Is that why you got out? Or were you still? No, you were still in school.
No, I was still in school, but I had to focus on like I was getting ready to do like block and the education stuff, and I was gonna have to go out into the field, and I really didn't have time. Yeah, man.
For those who don't know, at Texas State, you have to have the class, so you had to go to practice, 3 times a week. Or the class was like
3 times a week.
And then if it wasn't just that.
And rehearsals after,
Right. So it was, I guess you could say, yeah, it was like a pretty full schedule and shit. So you were focusing on graduating, if anything. Like, so I think after that, after that, I stopped playing with the group. Well, they didn't let me in the group, but,
I was like,
but that's when
like,
Robert.
That wasn't me.
No. And then so when I was banned from the group or whatever, we started. You were still in school. I stopped playing, so that's when I stopped like seeing you as much. And then after that, you kind of got me into the fraternity stuff because at that point we were working out together. I was on a good path. I was working out. and then after that, you told the thing about fraternities. I always thought it wasn't that cool because like I didn't want to get into something I didn't know. Really, I guess you could say I'm scared. I was scared. Like I didn't know what I was getting into and shit like that. So
like drugs,
sex,
all the things.
Drugs and sex at the same time. What? Right? That happens.
Oh man, no, I just didn't know what I was getting into. So when you kind of told me, at that point I like trusted you. So I was like, you know what? Like if he's telling me, I think yeah, right. Now looking back, but no, but it was a good time. I mean, I liked that I actually did it and I went through with it. And to this day, you keep people close to you that you were in that thing. So fraternities for me, it was a good experience. I know a lot of people.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, and it was the same experience for me. And I mean, because I had the same feeling like towards it. I was like, man, what am I doing in fraternity?
Right.
But I mean, it wasn't. It like you said, and it wasn't so much like that word fraternity. It was just like, hey man, let's just hang out with these guys and.
These guys.
Yeah, you random ass dudes, right? Yeah, let's meet up here. Come on, hang out. Sure, why not? But I mean, and like you said, man, I mean, we're both in that group message, and we still talk to each other today, and we're not. Right. We've been out of school for how long now?
Yeah,
so
for me, it's been 3 years, I think.
I see me kind of longer, but you know.
I'm like, I can see your canas from here, bro.
Yeah, you know what,
Oh,
man?
shit.
It's
Go
cool,
dye
bro.
my hair real quick.
Yeah, I got canas too, bro.
Oh yeah, Victor got him too, dude.
I see him
Yeah,
from
more
here.
than-
Nah, I can't even see.
I'm like, you know what, bro?
No, man, but that's kind of like I guess our history, you know, so far. I wanted to cover that, how we got into that.
Yeah, man.
But another reason I wanted to get you on the podcast was because you kind of, so I told you before getting into this, a lot of this show has to do with Allende, you know, the group that me and Victor currently play in. So when you were in Denton, right? When you were in your first 2 years, you were in this area you were playing, which is pretty much the same DFW area that we're currently playing in. So I told Victor the reason I want Robert on here too was because he kind of told me about the group. Like I think at that point, it was before I went to Texas State. I think I had like 4 weeks before I went to school. So this is like early August. And you were like, you called me up out of the blue, you know, like I had your number, you know, I had your number saved, but like I don't think I had ever talked to you. But I don't know, you called me, and I remember I get this call, and I'm like, oh, like, you know, all awkward, like, what's up, Robert? You know, like this is like out of the blue, you know. Yes, sir. No. I was like, hey, what's up, man? And you were like, hey, you gigging with anybody right now?
That.
Yeah, hey, you gigging with anybody right now? And I'm like, well, not right now. I think at that point I had gotten out with Imperial, so I wasn't playing with them anymore. So I was just trying to like get some money before going to school. I mean, school's a bitch, you know. You gotta make money. So I remember I was just like poor as fuck. I was just like ready to go to school with like nothing. And then you called me and you're like, hey, there's this group I used to, you know, gig with out there, and I think you can go out there and play or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, what do they need? You know, I was thinking vihuela, you know, because I mean, that's what I play. But then you told me like, no, they need a bass player. And I was like, well, I'm not a bass player. Because at that point, I think I was I know how to play guitarrón, but I'm not the best at like, well, I can't read the music, you know, but I know how to play all the styles, you know, but I didn't have the rep. I didn't have like certain qualities to actually put myself as a bass player, you know, but I could fill in, you know, if anything. So that's what they wanted. So I remember I just kind of went head first. But before we go into that, like, how did you find out about that group? How did that whole shindig go down?
Shoot, man. Actually, you know what? Jason, man. I think
Jason?
Shout out to Jason again,
Jason.
dude. I think Jason had passed. He had passed my number to Arturo.
Right.
And dude, I remember, man. So he had called me up, and he wanted to meet up. It's there, Arturo.
Yeah.
I was like, sure, man. Yeah, let's meet up. And he goes, okay, pues you live in Denton, right? And I was like, yeah, I live right here. I live close to the school.
Yeah.
And he's all like, bueno, sale pues, nos juntamos en el subway. Where is it? No, I can't remember the streets, man.
That was a meeting place. I got a subway.
Is it
Frontage, no?
No, man.
No.
It's the one right by the school, right by North Texas. I can't remember this. I can't remember the streets, man. But
yeah.
all I know is that I parked right there, like on the side. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just sitting there waiting. Like a brown Hummer shows up.
A Hummer?
And I'm on a Hummer, bro.
What year is this?
Bro, fucking brown Hummer H2, shiny. I was all like, ooh, dang. I didn't even know. I don't even know who's pulling out. I don't even.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know, right? I don't even think Arturo was driving it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He's just they pulled up right next to me, and I'm just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then Arturo gets down, all short, whatever. He comes and knocks on my window. And I was all like, oh, shoot, this is the guy.
This is the guy. Brown ass
like,
dude.
cool. Yeah. And a brown ass Hummer.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. So, and shoot, from there, we started talking. He broke it down. And I mean, I was ready to work. I wanted to start playing. And I wanted to... Shoot, I was 18, 19 or 19 maybe.
So young.
Yeah. I was pretty young. Yeah. Didn't know everything. I was still a saint and little angel.
Wait. So yeah, he just called you up to hang out, like?
No, he
No,
called
no,
him
no.
to work.
He wanted to meet. He wanted to meet me, and then he was gonna explain like
Oh,
because
okay.
I was gonna go with them for the weekend,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
like
okay.
and I guess like that was like he's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna break it down for you. And,
Damn, he
hey,
never told
we
me.
have
You
He
didn't
never
do that
told
with
me
us.
that. He was just
I just
like, "You
showed
want to
up.
work?" I'm like, "I guess, yeah."
yeah. Well, I guess like I was the new guy in town, and
I
nobody
guess.
knew who
Oh,
I.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who I was. Like, who the heck? Who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
What the
Oh,
heck's a Robert?
shit.
And so yeah, he broke it down. He told me, hey, pues we have this planta. We play from this hour to this hour, and then on Saturday we're gonna go from this hour to this hour. So if you're available, and I think at that time too, man, we had a Sunday planta. It was the Siete
Oh,
Mares
Siete
and
Mares. Yeah, yeah.
in Garland, I think.
Garland. Yeah, in Garland.
Yeah, man,
Hasta
we
Calamadre.
still, yeah, we still had that, man. So he's like, hey, man, yeah, man, it's gonna be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so that's okay. And I was ready, man. I was,
Yeah.
let's go. And
I
so,
mean,
the what?
I just said like, I mean, at that point, how much had you have worked? Like, or what were you used to working at that point, as far as work goes?
Nah, man. So in San Antonio, I was gigging, but
Not at that level.
not as much as they did, man.
Yeah.
Like, I had a little hotel gig every Friday, but we played for like an hour and a half, and that was it. And we played inside the hotel, did an hour and a half, went home on a Friday.
Right.
Saturday, we had like a little hour or two.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy because the group I was in, man, dude, Mariachi Familia.
Oh, okay.
was the name, and John Nieto, my teacher in high school, Mr. Nieto. Shout out to Nieto.
Yeah.
He was playing in that group with his wife, and his wife's brother is Domingo. I don't know if you guys know Domingo Rivera, but he plays in the group. But Domingo was in that group, and so it was a big family for them, brothers and cousins and brother-in-law and sister-in-law, whatever. And I just kind of came into the group because of Nieto.
Mm-hmm.
And I started playing guitar, but then I went on to harp, and but like I said, yeah, man, the work wasn't as crazy because everybody had their job, they had like a family and stuff. So
yeah.
So they just kind of did their little work. No Sunday gigs because everybody was in church, or everybody had
family
they wanted
day.
to save save Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it, man. So when I got to Denton, boom, really shocked. I was like,
how was that first week? I don't know if you remember. How was that first week going from that culture shock? Because that's kind of my experience when I went to I had the opposite. Like you came from San Antonio and came to the DFW area to work, whereas I was used to, even when I was in the group that I was in before Allende, I was working, but it was kind of like you said, it was an hour, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours tops, like for a whole weekend, so, and there was no plantas, or if they were, there was like an hour, so I had the opposite experience. So like, once I went into Allende, I went into that heavy work, like nonstop. And then when I went to college, I went to that, which was like 1 hour, 2 hours, if anything, because I think that first year I didn't gig for shit. I was just in school. So how was your experience as far as going from what you were used to in San Antonio and then that first weekend with Allende as far as work went?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely a big difference, in the work. But I think for me, and I mean, everybody's different, right? But for me, like I liked playing and I liked working, and I wanted to work, and I wanted to learn, and I wanted to just kind of do it. So when they said, or when I after that first weekend, I was like, all right, sure, let's do it, man. Let's do it. This is how it's gonna be. And sure enough, I think like after that first weekend, they're like, hey man, pues if you're down, if you can commit to Fridays and Saturdays with us, man, or you can come on. And at that time, man, the guys were cool. I was playing with Rodo on violin, Joel, you know Joel,
Perron, yeah,
Joel, and
so you came in on vihuela or guitar?
No, on guitar.
Oh, okay, cool.
On guitar. And so that was something new for me too. I was paying more attention to guitar and not so much on vihuela and harp, because like when I was in San Antonio, I was just more vihuela, and then I had picked up harp like my senior year. And then when I got to Denton, I didn't have the harp that I have now. I didn't have it at that time, so I just stuck to armonía. And pues a veces I went on guitarrón whenever Joel couldn't go, or yeah. So and so then I guess that's why they kept me too, because I was able to play, multiple issues.
Yeah.
A veces Isra couldn't go, so I go on mi abuela, Joel, and me llevo guitarrón.
Right.
And so yeah, I was just all about it, man. I just started taking it in, and vámonos, 7 hours Saturday, talón, planta on Friday, and then on top of the talón, get home at 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning, because you're on another city. But y'all know, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it is a big difference, like, because I mean, just this weekend we went to, like, I don't even remember exactly how many places we went to, but we went to like 4 or 5 towns in just that one Saturday. We're going across the whole DFW area, not so much like when I was over there, you drive to one location, maybe another one, but after that you go home, so the difference is pretty big. I mean, you go through a lot over here, and I feel like a lot of people that are from down there, I've talked to people where they're like, how are your weekends up there? And when I tell them that it's, that heavy, where you're working probably Thursday through Saturday, maybe Sunday, like they're all like, nah, wait, there's not that much work up there. And I'm like, yeah, there is, dude. Like, yeah, it's okay. Hay chingos de grupos aquí, there's groups up the ass here, and they all have enough work to go around. Like, it's pretty wild the way that this area is, But how was I don't know if you remember anything, but from that first weekend with them, like, what, as far as like rep or like anything you saw in there, was there anything that, because I mean, it is a different group than the one we're playing in now. The only similarities would be our boss, Arturo's still the boss, but as far as like anybody else there, you played with a different group. So what was like your experience as far as rep or just in general that first weekend?
I was the new guy, man. I didn't know anybody, so I was still kind of like, quiet and shy and stuff.
Yeah.
But the guys, they were really cool, and I think after Friday, like, they heard me play, and of course I didn't know all the rep. Arturo gave me, I think it was like 2 or 3 CDs of just puro rep that they did.
Yeah.
And I remember walking into my dorm. I mean, I was still living in the dorms and stuff. I walk into the dorm, and my roommate, he was a jazz guitarist, so he's there practicing jazz. And then I go in, dude, and I start. He had stopped practicing. I start blasting this mariachi music, man. I'm over here like writing down chords, and I'm just chan 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 chan. He's over here practicing. So, but yeah, man, they gave me those CDs, and I just started going through each song, and I think probably most of the rep, man, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was brand new, man. I was green.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a pretty decent ear, at least I think so, and
perfect pitch.
And so
that's pretty good ear. Okay,
Robert. Whatever. As long as I learned the song, chinga.
That's just funny. Pretty alright. Perfect pitch. That was pretty good.
But yeah, and I mean, I still didn't learn, all the songs. And then hasta eso, man, like, I wasn't a big singer, per se. And he, I mean, plus when you're the guitar player, kind of, he sings a lot of the songs. And so pues I just started practicing, man, and just started learning the songs that I could handle.
Right.
Of course there were some songs, or I couldn't remember the words, or I couldn't grasp it as fast. But yeah, so so taking my guitar playing and my singing and just working, as a mariachi. And
right.
I mean, there's work here in San Antonio, and the groups were working and stuff, but I guess I just wasn't exposed to it, And that it wasn't until I got to Denton where, hey, órale, vámonos.
Yeah.
7 hours, 8 hours, fácil.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like weekly, dog. So it's not even like it's a special occasion when 7 hours come up. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, cool, I guess.
Yeah.
It just that's the workload here, basically. What I'm trying to get at. And it's like you have that experience where you got to experience both. I mean, now you're back in San Antonio, so you're gigging there. But then again, the group that you're playing in now is different from Allende in the way that you guys are more of a, I guess you could say, an established group, like because you guys do like arrangements, you guys go to practice, like we practice, but I mean it's not at the level you guys when everybody plays their part, they look at their music, they got all parts, they got to go through it, like it's more, I want to say organized, but it's more
Structure, yeah, organized
structured. You know what I mean?
structure.
Because I
Yeah, yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's like Victor said in one of them, like we're a mariachi como de rancho. Like all the songs that we play son puras que gente quiere. They're party songs. They're not so much
Mm-hmm.
arrangements and stuff like that. Because you guys have like concerts and you guys put on like whole performances and stuff like that. Whereas
Yeah, yeah.
we don't really do that. I think our last concert was like what 2-3 years ago now, like something like that for Mother's Day. So that was like kind of our
Yeah,
last
yeah.
concert. We don't do so much that, but
I remember doing a couple of concerts with Allende, and I think on one concert I went on harp. He had called me and he's like, "Hey man, come on harp," and I was like, "Yeah,
yeah.
sale." And I went and they were on the stage. There's mics and
Oh, I remember
audience.
now.
Yeah. You went.
There was an audience. Y todo. Yeah, I
Really?
don't. We're back.
I
I
wasn't
can't.
there. I wasn't there yet. I think I was, if anything, I was already in school, but I remember the pictures and stuff about it. Because I think Heido was there playing bass,
Yeah,
no?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
shout out Heido. And then Paco was there.
Yeah, Paco
Panda,
was already
Panda
there.
was there, I think. Panda.
No.
¿No era Panda el que
Well, who's
estaba
playing
de
Vihuela?
Vihuela?
Was it Panda?
I thought it was Panda.
Se me hace que, yeah, I think, yeah. I
Might have
think Panda
been.
was there.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
El
But
Panda.
Panda. Shout out Panda. But yeah, it's just cool how you have that both of those experiences because you played here, you played there, and it's kind of like the opposite of us. Like, or as far as you gigged in what McAllen for a little bit.
I tried.
You tried. Still. Oh no, we lost. Oh, there you go.
Oh.
But so now that you're down in San Antonio, you gig. Now, what is there any way that you prefer one over the other? Like you gigged up here and then you gig down there. So it's like you said, like some people gig down there and they like it that way better, because they have more access to their personal life. They kind of just do it on the side as a hustle and then they have their jobs during the week. So like, what do you feel about that as far as your own experience?
I think for anybody, if you're trying to like, go to the next level as a musician, or you're trying to
Yeah.
better yourself as a mariachi, and I think both worlds fit, man. I learned so much when I was in Allende. I learned rep, and I learned work, and I learned hey, pues a darle. And I mean, yeah, I was making money too, and I was paying off different stuff for
Yeah.
me, for my own expenses. And when the work's good, pues I lana.
Yeah.
And then over here, and it's good too, because it's a more established group and more structure, and you get to rehearse, and you get to play on a mic. It's a different ambiente. You're not in a backyard or something, and now you're in front of an audience, and I mean, the first thing people do is pull out their phones and record and take pictures, and they want to take pictures. So now you got to worry about, how am I dressed, and is my hair okay?
Oh, he's talking about my hair, bro.
I see you, man, with the long hair, man.
Yeah, I did. I'm going full Fabio.
I see you, man.
Yeah,
How long is he gonna get, or what?
I wanted to hit my shoulders where you can see it, but fucking Victor hates it, dude.
What on Jesus?
I'm excited, Sammy, bro.
Yeah, dude. This past weekend they kept giving me looks because okay. Here's the thing. So what do you use in your hair right now? Like to comb
gel. It's called the Johnny B.
Oh, the Johnny.
That's what
Oh,
I
you still
use.
use that? I remember.
Johnny B.
Yeah.
But I don't use. I only use a little bit. I don't use a lot now.
Oh, okay. Because I remember one time I don't think I had like stuff, and I was at your apartment, and I was like, "Hey, can I borrow like some gel or whatever you use?" I remember that Johnny B whatever. But because so like when you have shorter hair, you could just put in a little bit of product and then te peinas, and then it's good. But with long hair, what people don't understand here is that it's very difficult to like get an acceptable hairstyle. Like so my hair, I didn't realize this until I grew it out, but I didn't realize that my shit was like mad wavy. So once now that it's like long, it's hard. Like before, I would use a pomade, and that pomade, you put a little bit of it, and it stays stuck all day. And I had the side part, and that was always my
Yeah, man, I remember.
Yeah.
Dude, you influenced me with
Yeah.
I remember I used to ask you all the time. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
man, how do you do your hair, man?
Yeah, I kind of touched on this, but back then, like Robert had these spikes, bro. He had like literally looked like 4 spikes, dog. Like Ancina,
It was 5, bro.
Yeah, he had 5. He was like
2 on each side and then one in the middle.
one in the middle. Yeah, dude. No, but when I met him, like that was the hairstyle you had. You kind of had like it was kind of the same, and you had them on short on the sides, but the top was there was more hair on the top, and then you just kind of did like a wall. So like if you look at it from the side, it just looked like a wall.
Hey, it was strong though.
It was like a Tony Hawk freaking half pipe. Anyway, I remember when I got into college, my hair has always basically been the same. I think I just learned to buy better products like as I went on. Like it's in the beginning, every kid uses moco de gorila, so that was like your base, So I remember using that shit in high school.
That's the emergency for me.
Yeah, like if you got nothing else, you use that shit. or in Mexico too, like that's what I was use in Mexico. They didn't have anything over there, so that's what I would use.
Victor's face is like, y'all use that?
Bro, I'm like, yo, over here, man.
you over here using mocos. You're like, right. Yeah, dude. But now I eventually got to the point where I use pomade for my hair, and I always did the side part. And I remember you asked me one day, like, what do you use? Or how do you do it? Or how do you ask for the haircut? Because it took me a while, too, to ask for a haircut. Like, how to ask for a haircut, when I was a kid, I've talked about this. Like, my parents always gave me a flat top. Like, that was the hairstyle for me. So, like, when I got older and I got to choose my own haircut, I didn't know what the fuck to say. My dad will walk in and just say flat top, like she already knew, So... Later on, I found out, haircuts got different names, and taper means this, stuff
different
like that.
sizes.
Right. So when I went into a salon and I finally learned how to ask for it, like I always got a low fade or a mid fade, and then I did the side part. And you asked me like, hey, like, how do you cut your hair? Like, what do you ask for at the salon? And I would tell you, and then that's when you started doing the side part. And then they would compliment you on your hair, bro. They'd be like, damn, Robert got good hair. And I was like, I did that shit.
He got the glow up, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That's true.
I made him glow up, bro. Just over here, like, milk.
Hey, well, now it's on. Now it's here. Hey, Sammy influenced my hair. Dun,
there you go. Now our 20 followers.
That took a while, but hey.
I'm like, it took you a minute, bro. No, but no. Anyway, back to the main
That's
story.
like the only reason he invited you, dude. Set it up.
I'm like, can you say it again in the mic, please? No.
Oh, shit.
I eventually got to what I have now, which is wavy hair. So I can't find a freaking product to have it, like, I don't know my hairstyles anymay because
you want a good product?
What?
Unas tijeras. So you cut it, dude.
No way. Like it's hard because so this is a good topic. So when I was getting into mariachi, you have a certain look, when you go into, you have to you look clean, there are some that go the full thing, you shave, that's what you do. You never have facial hair unless after quarantine, you had a big old beard. But yeah, your hair is the other thing, like the peinas, you want to look clean. So I always had that that like mentality, but after quarantine, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna grow my hair. I've never done this before. So, but now, like when we started gigging again, I was like, well, I'm fucked, like what am I gonna do? Like, so I tried doing my old hairstyle. It doesn't work, dude. I started looking like Mozart or something. And so I can't do that same thing. I can't use the same products because, like my hair, it just doesn't work like that now.
You have to do that thing that other charros do with their long hair. They do like the little bun.
Nah, way.
It looks all done. You don't have a choice,
Man
bro.
bun.
Yeah.
I can't go full man bun, bro. Like I think at that point I've lost if I've
You already lost, bro.
But I'm still looking, dog. I can't find the damn product.
Échate el Johnny B, man. That stuff is strong and like hold it down or I don't know.
I don't know.
That's what I use.
You use Johnny too?
Johnny.
Not right now, but
Nah.
he's not looking for it.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah. Nah, man, I'm still looking because, like I said, I want to look clean. But like this past weekend, I was just tired, bro. We had that 2-hour gig, and I was just like, you know what? I took a shower, and I was like, I'm gonna just let my natural hair flow. Because after just let water. If you just put water, you cleaned it, you shampooed it, it's all good, and then you let it dry. My shit just looks like waves. But I went out there, and everybody was all like, "Qué pedo, güey?" And I was like, what? Like, I can't.
Yeah, I even told
What are you?
I told Arturo, I'm like, ya córrelo, güey.
Hey, pues por eso, like, Arturo used to have his hair así, really long.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, he used to always do like Arturo's weird though. Like he still uses like the cheap dollar gel. Like I know because I went to his house and I saw the big ass tub, bro. So I'm like, I know you're still using that shit.
Like it turns white when you're fucking.
Yeah, where it leaves all the white shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I know Arturo uses that. So when he has curlier hair than I do, but he grabs like a glob of it, and I know back then he would just like.
The whole tub's
just literally.
Yeah, he would just do this all the way back and just leave it. Like that was his thing. And then he got it so long that he started doing the ponytail. I remember he had a ponytail for a while.
Oh, he had like a little mullet for a while too.
Did he have a mullet?
I think so.
Nah,
Oh,
really?
Yeah, he
no.
did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did, dude.
Did he?
Yeah.
No, man.
But it's all curly. So you can see
Yeah. Dang, he looked like Pedro Fernandez then.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like the mullet with the yeah, but
shit.
yeah, man, like so
There
that's
you go, man.
right now with long hair, I'll see in December. We'll see. Hey, so since you've been doing mariachi for what you said a long ass time, but you do other genres, right? You do norteño, tejano. You played salsa at one point with the school, jazz. I don't even know what you did. Probably did choir or some shit. I don't know. So
yeah, I was kind of I've been really fortunate to be able to branch out and explore different genres, and that's actually all that kind of happened at North Texas, man, because North Texas is that big music school, and there's just so much talent, and everybody knows how to play. They know they're very not versatile, but like they know their instrument very well. They study and stuff. And so when I started meeting new people and new musicians and whatnot, and these guys they were hardcore.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I got to hang out with some of them, got to play with some of them, and kind of just exchange info and hang out and jam. And so I grew as a musician, and then I was able to expand when I got over here. I started playing salsa at Texas State, and then I still play salsa right now. There's a little club here in San Antonio. We're not playing right now because of COVID, but I was playing every Wednesday night. This little music club called Luna. And they have salsa Wednesdays, and it was a live band with horns and timbales y toda la cosa.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, pues from salsa, jazz, and originally I started with tejano, norteño, with the accordion and bajo sexto.
Yeah. That was your thing, right? Like you said, you started as an accordion player. I mean, are you still on the Lila Cockerel?
I don't know, man. I think so. I don't know.
For those who don't know, there's a what is it? An event center?
It's like the entrance of the Henry B. Gonzalez, I think. Like that's one of the entrances.
But it's like what is it? It's like a venue, right? It's like a venue people play at. Right.
Yeah, the Lila Cockerel is a part of the convention center. The convention center is like the big thing, and then the Lila Cockerel is like this little theater. Yeah.
It was funny because that's where they had Vargas. Or do they still have it there?
Yeah, right? Well, they used to these last couple concerts. They were having it there at the Henry B.
Oh, okay. Well, over there in San Antonio, there's that event center, and they always have the Mariachi Vargas concert there for extravaganza and stuff. Well, Robert's on the outside of it, but as a kid, like right, you're like playing accordion, but they have you like on the windows, like it's like stained glass, right? Or I don't know what it is, but it's you're outside of it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, that's actually a funny story too, because I was in town visiting family from I was at Texas State. Or wait, I don't know if I was at Texas State or if I was at North Texas. It might have been North Texas, but I was visiting family, and I was on my way out, and so you know, to get on the highway, I passed through downtown and through the Lila Cockrell.
Right.
And so that street right there, as you're passing, and it's on the right, and I just happened to look, and I was all like, "What the heck?" Like the first thing I thought, I was like, "Should I be getting paid for this?
Run me my check."
It was like, so man, they
That's
freaking
funny.
blew me up, man. I was like, anyway, but they had took that picture though. So I used to do there's in San Antonio, there's a thing called Fiesta, and it's like it's almost like a month long, man, or like 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks long.
I never went to it, but I always heard about it since I was in the area. But yeah, it's like a big festival type thing that goes down in San Antonio.
Fiesta, man, it's una fiesta, and they have parades and events, and it's the night in Old San Antonio, and it's great and stuff. Anyway, so there's this parade that I would do in the mornings. It was called the King William Parade, and I would perform every year when I was 9 years old, 10 years old.
Right.
And somebody had took a picture of me and the bajo player that were playing. Pues yo era niño.
Yeah.
And,
you were a kid. Yeah, you were a kid.
Yeah, man. And they put that cover in the magazine called the San Antonio Current, and from that magazine, whatever, I was like, oh, cool. And actually, I don't even think it was the front cover. It was the back cover, like the very last page, but like that's like the last thing you saw. I was like, okay,
cool.
And so they took that picture and they blew it up. I was like, what? Yeah, you don't even tell me or anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you would think, like, hey, let me know, bro. Like, if I just want to know if like I'm on a poster in Atlanta or something, like I would want to know, dude.
You know what I mean? You
Like,
know, I thought you had to ask permission or something.
Where was my consent when you put this up?
Exactly. But they're like, hey, should I be getting paid for this?
That's what I'm saying. No, but that's cool, man. Because I mean, you started music at a very young age. You know, like I didn't start till I was like in 6th grade. Neither you. You know, we got later in life we started doing that stuff. So I mean, that's pretty cool. You just started really young.
Yeah, and then and from getting back to the other stuff, I mean, I started with like Norteño and Tejano, and I was gigging, and then mariachi came into me in high school, like my junior year, and then ever since that year, man, like I fell in love with the music. And so like, you know, when you fall in love with something, or when you like something that much, you know, you just want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's how you you started with that music, went into mariachi, and then that's kind of cool. Like, have you just start that way, but then you went ahead and like branched into other music? Because I wanted to do that, but I realized I was like, nah, I can't do this. I was like, because when I was a kid, my mom was the one that always tells me, she's like, you wanted to learn accordion like when you were a kid. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like my favorite group back then was like Los Tucanes, Tijuana. So I used to like listen to all their shit when I was a little kid in California, and that's what I wanted to play, accordion. But apparently, someone told me that guitar was easier, or if I learned guitar, it would be easier to learn accordion. I don't know if that's true. Is that true?
Kind of, I guess.
My whole life is a lie. Someone told me that.
I mean, I guess it could, like, because you're hearing like the harmonies and like the chords, like primera, segunda, tercera.
Yeah,
so like when you're playing the melody, you at least know where you're at. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody told me that, but it changed my whole life because I started playing guitar. Next thing you know, I'm playing vihuela, and then I played mariachi. So I never played accordion, you know. But oh well.
Hey, well, we got the jam though. We got the jam at whose wedding? Arturo's wedding, no?
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah, our boss got married, and you were there. Yeah. And he had hired these 2 Norteño dudes, or 3 of them. I don't remember. But it was
3. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a bass, a bajo. No. Was there even a bajo, a bass?
See, there was a bass. Yeah.
Was there a drum?
But
Drums?
I don't think no iba tamboras. There was no drums.
Oh, so it's just bass, bajo, and accordion, right? It's just like a trio. Well, anyway,
Yeah, man.
I remember. Yeah, you were there, and I was there, and I was like, "Hey, like, let's play a song." Like, I don't think we had to play. I think it was the first time we played.
That was like the first time.
Yeah.
Boom, going, hey, why not? Let's just jam.
Yeah, and then Arturo was a little lit. You know, it was his wedding, so he was good. Paco was lit. It was his wedding. So they were singing the little hearts out there, those pedos. But it was a good time, dude. We jammed out for a little bit. Where were you?
No, he's still middle school.
Yeah, probably.
No, well, Victor wasn't in the group till later. Oh, and then that's another thing that I didn't talk about. So you told me about Allende, and that's when I started playing with them. Like I said though, I only played those 3 weeks, and then I went to college. So they were still looking for a guitarrón player at that point. You know, like I think I had told them, like, you know what, if there's any I didn't have a car, so I couldn't get back to DFW. So I just said, like, hey, if I'm ever in town, you know, I'll let you know, and I'll play, even if it's on Vihuela or whatever. Because I was playing guitarrón, which it sucks when you don't know a lot of rep and you're playing bass, because you got to play before Vihuela guitar. So I was fucked. Like they just threw me in there, you know, as far as rep goes. But after I left, they were asking me, like, hey, bro, like, Arturo, he's just like, hey, bro, like, you don't know anybody else, like someone that can help us out, bro? Está buscando. And I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know. And I just kept thinking, and I told Victor, because I had played with Victor at Imperial, and I talked about it here, like when he came in with us at Imperial, he came in and he didn't know shit. So he was fucking big trash. But then
Still don't, bro. Wait, what?
And then once he learned all that music, he was good. But he stopped playing, so he was just kind of chilling, right? I don't think you were playing after that group.
After what group?
Imperial. Like, were you playing with anybody, or were you just?
Well, that's when I was playing with Allende for a bit, and then he
No,
fired me.
before I told you.
No, I was still playing with him.
Before I told you about Allende?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was playing with him. And then after that first week, Arturo called me and he's like, hey, you want to join the group? I'm like, you sure?
Because you were
like,
trash.
Yeah, I was big trash, dude. We were talking about that this week.
Yeah.
Sure you want me?
Yeah, I was like, dude. I was like, all right. And sure enough, I joined. And then like next month, he's like, hey, you're fired. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah. But he got his start there though, because it was kind of like a what's it called? Not a ladder, but a chain, right?
Yeah, like a chain.
Like,
I mean, Victor's came over here too. You know, he came and jammed with us, with Azteca.
Oh,
and,
right.
Yeah, he's done.
Oh.
I mean,
yeah, right. We have to cut this out now.
No, yeah, you're right. Victor went down there. Talk about that.
Once or twice.
Yeah, because Victor plays harp. They called you up for the concerts. What was it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he did. Didn't you? He did. We have this event called Noche de Romance that we do every year.
Yeah.
Right.
And one of the years Victor came on harp, man, and that was a really good year for us too.
Yeah. And you went to Vegas too, no, with them?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
I'm bringing up some good shit, or what? Where was I?
Robert was there.
What was I doing?
Dude, you were gigging, dude.
Like
I was there in Vegas, but
Yeah.
I wasn't with the guys. I wasn't playing with. I was playing with one of the Tejano
Yeah,
bands.
dude.
And
That was so true, dude. We're like,
all I know is that I was walking to the bar, like the main bar in the casino, and I was all like, "Is that Victor?" I was like, "Oh, what y'all doing?"
we're just there like drinking, and then he walks in. Like you had like a fucking white coat, right? You had like. I was like, damn, you look kind of good, dude. Like, I forgot to say no homo. I was like, damn.
So Robert was there, but he wasn't playing in the group.
No, he was playing with another group.
Was it Tejano?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
okay.
that whole event, it was like a Tejano convention, and
okay.
I was playing with two bands that year.
Shit.
So
nice.
they have both and actually it kind of happened weird because I was already going with one band, and they were playing like the main show there at the Vegas where the mariachi guys played too.
Yeah.
And then this other band, they had called me, hey man, you know, we need you to can you play accordion with us? And I was all I was, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be there, why not, you know? So I helped that band out with on accordion, and then I played bass with the other band. I played electric bass with the other band. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, I remember saying the guys were there. Who did y'all back up? Y'all backed up.
I don't know the guy's name, dude. To be honest.
Yeah, no, he's an accordion player and singer. Michael Salgado, no?
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Salgado. I think that's who y'all backed up. But
Yeah,
man, we were all there.
That was trippy, dude. Yeah, like we're actually chilling, and it's like he's like, "Hey, bro," and I'm like,
"Oh shit!"
Yeah.
That shit does like trip you out because it's like you're from Fort Worth, from San Antonio, and you meet up in Vegas. Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay. What the fuck?
I don't remember much of that. But it was cool. Yeah.
Was it a good night?
Good night.
If you remember, it's a good night.
Yeah, we'll have that up on our premium. No, just kidding.
Cool.
Please subscribe.
Right, please subscribe. No, that's cool though. But so you went down there and you played
Up there.
No, well, I meant like with the group. With Azteca,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, Robert.
Yeah,
Robert just sent me a message on Messenger, I think, right?
I think so, man. Hey, because I remember telling Gino, I was like, yeah, man, I know a harp player, and because we wanted to
You're like, I'm not a harp player. Me.
I'll go.
Man. You play way better harp than I do.
Nah, no.
So I was all like, nah, man, I know this harp player. I was like, let me message him, and sure enough, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said so. It was funny because you weren't like straight up. You're just like, hey, can you play this? And I'm like, yeah. And like I could see you typing, and then you kind of stopped, and you kept typing. And like, it's like, all right, can you come down here for this game? I'm like, okay, cool. And pues se hizo.
Yeah. That's what I asked.
Yeah,
Play with them.
I see. Just get right to the point. Look, can you play this?
Yeah, dude. I was wondering for that.
You know.
Like, yeah, right.
You
know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude. That was a good time, man.
Yeah.
It was 2 shows, I think, right?
2?
The what?
I think it was 2 shows, right? We played twice.
Oh yeah. We did two nights. Yeah. And I think like every year we've been doing 2 nights, and I think this last year we were gonna do 3, but we ended up just doing 2. Okay. But yeah, ever since that year you came, we've been doing 2 nights because it had just started with just one night, just one show or whatever. But now we've been doing two shows.
Yeah, it's a cool experience, man. It was
You going
fun.
back?
Yeah, cool. It's a cool little event.
Yeah.
Are you gonna leave me again? You gonna go again?
No.
Hey, what are you doing in February?
Right. I'll text you later, bro.
Secret.
Yeah, right.
Secret. I'm like, no, that's cool, man. You got to play down there and play with Azteca. Shout out to those guys and Gino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess cool, man.
Well, I don't know if we're out of time or not.
I don't know, to be honest. I thought it would have some sort of timer. But...
Yeah, I think last time I just like kind of looked at the time I started and just kind of went with it. Because I remember with Tony, it felt like forever, dude. Like it felt like forever, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, it's just enough time, cool. But it felt like a long time. I don't know why. I don't know.
No, this is cool though, man. The talk is really, really good.
Yeah, man. Se pasa la hora, quick, dude. Está buena la plática, como dicen.
Okay. I guess that's kind of cool how like us 3, we're all kind of connected in some sort of way,
We're all brothers.
Yeah, that's kind of like I said. I wanted to get you on here. Like you have the experiences because you were actually in the group, so and you played with them, so you have like firsthand experience with them. So that's why I thought it was.
Allende was cool, man. I gigged a lot. I learned a lot, and the guys are cool. Desmadre, ya sabes. And then I think one of my experiences that I never really had one time was when we did Dia de la Virgen. Because that was before Mother's Day, and actually I did a Mother's Day, but it was nothing like Mother's Day I did with them.
Yeah.
And Dia de la Virgen, bro, I think we slept in the van.
Yeah.
I didn't go home. I didn't go home until Sunday like afternoon.
And you
or
when
like
did you start? Like Friday or something like that?
we
Friday,
started we started Friday morning, and then I went. We started Friday morning. I drove to the church, and then I went back because I had like 1 or 2 classes or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to Denton. I did my classes, and then I rested.
I did that too,
Went to sleep, and then boom, we had the planta on Friday night.
Oh, shit.
We had the planta Friday night, and then as soon we did, I can't remember if we did talon that night or what. But later on Friday night, we played till like 3 a.m. because we had chambas or little serenatas así Friday night. And then I got home, but something like 2 or 3 a.m. and then boom, 5 de la mañana at a church on Saturday. Serenatas. We went all day Saturday, slept in the van because we had a mass on Sunday.
Yep.
And man, that I had never done. I was like, oh, shit.
That's why. Go ahead.
Nah, I remember the first time I did it. I think I was like 15. Like,
you were young.
I was still in the group.
Yes.
And and it was Wednesday night. They picked me up, and we played all night. I remember we only slept an hour. Like, we finished like at 12. We went to the misa. We got there at 1. We slept all the way through 2, and then we started playing again. And I still had to go back to school, dude.
Oh,
and Arturo had to take me back because I didn't drive. So I remember we stopped like
get dropped off by the van.
Yeah, dude, that's what it was. Like I brought my backpack with my clothes. Oh, bro.
Show up to the front like that, sus, bro.
Man, nobody did. I remember falling asleep in one of the. I can't remember which church we were at, man. But it was. And then hasta eso, dude, man. It was a small church, so like everybody can see you.
Yeah.
I thought, and I'm playing, bro, and I just did it. And like I stopped playing, and all I feel is Isra freaking pushes me. And I'm just like, oh.
Oh man, that's the thing, bro. Like when I worked down there, and December 12th is finals time in college, so over there, like for me, like
Mother's Day too.
Yeah, and Mother's Day too. They both fall on finals. So for me, what sucked is that I wasn't really getting work in the beginning. So like I never gigged really down there the whole 4 years, like for those big events like Mother's Day and Dia de la Virgen. So for me, like I remember putting snaps of me being like, man, when you don't get no like work on Dia de la Virgen, people would tell me like, what do you mean, bro? Like it's like over here, we don't really do that. And I was like, dude, I don't even fucking know, bro. Like.
Oh man, and actually, yeah, like even over here, it's not as busy or as much work over there as it is over there, man. So,
oh man,
over there, we like I remember over there, we were playing in the snow, we were playing outside, we were playing for little altars in the houses, or they set a window, ahí está el altar y todo el nombre, man. It was. Crazy times, Yeah,
man, that's what I'm saying. Like people just don't know. So like when I tell them, I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking with you. Like it's busy, it's hard, Like it's not meant for everybody.
You get PTSD too, dude. You're like, as soon as people say Virgen, you're like,
man. I'm sure that's just like right now. And then Mother's Day was the same thing, man.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, you're
Mother's Day was the same thing.
It really is like for us up here. It's like an event. Like you already know it's happening. Like the closer you get to it, you're like, shit, here we go.
Yeah.
But and then like all the cities are not close to each other. So
yeah, man, you're driving a lot. The van is your hotel. Like that's your bed too. Like it's something.
Seats.
Yeah, the new van has like a 90-degree angle on the freaking seat. So I'm like, dude. But. Hey,
at least in the old van, like you already had like an indent.
For sure.
You had an indent for your neck. You could just,
No, dude, the old van used to have an indent for my ass, dude. Like it already like slipped right in. But this new one's not soft yet, dude. I gotta work on it.
That's yourself, man.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, good times. Fucking
Yeah,
man.
man. Nombre, and then all the plantas. And I remember we were doing, I think on Sundays, like we were trying out new plantas. And they had opened up a second Siete Mares. And I forgot where that one was. I don't know if it was Addison or in Plano.
Mm-hmm.
And they had opened up one over there. So we would go over there. But you know what I mean? It's just a lot of traveling, a lot of driving.
Yeah.
And actually that's kind of why I had stopped playing with them. And I remember because at North Texas, man, it's a hardcore music school, and I was a music student.
Yeah.
I was a music student there, trying to study and trying to be on top of my stuff. And for a little while I was slacking behind.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember I had to make the decision. And I remember I was like, you know what, after this weekend, you know, I think I'm gonna call it. And I had told him, I was like, hey, bro, I'm gonna have to. You know what, man? It was kind of sad.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to leave the group. I didn't want to stop playing. You know, and of course, I was making some good cash, but it was just something I had to do. And I remember like we had like 5 or 6 uniforms, trajes, man, in my closet, in my closet in my dorm. And plus, Arturo came to pick up the suits. I'm like, oh. You know, here you go, man. But yeah, man, that was one of the reasons I had to stop with them. And I mean, we still stayed cool. I still done gigs with them and stuff. But that's how much work there was, man. I had to just cool it down for a little while.
Yeah, man. I mean, like with anything, you got to know what you got to do. You know, as far as work, you know, studies. I mean, mariachi can get into in the way of that. So you got to learn how to prioritize your time and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's something all of us do. You know, it's just part of working as a musician. So it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think this is it, Robert.
Yeah, man. Everything's good here. We're doing good. We're getting ready for Mariachi Vargas is coming down to San Antonio. They're doing those I don't know if y'all see the concerts now, but everybody's kind of spaced out, or they heading Intocable here not too long ago.
They're doing the conference?
No. They're performing at the Freeman Coliseum, and people are going in their cars, and you can buy spots. And that's gonna be next Friday.
Cool.
And so they're coming down, and so they're gonna come in. I think some schools were able to get like a clinic with them during the week, and then the concert's on Friday. But you know, of course, COVID, so everybody's coming in the cars. But that's how they did Intocable. Intocable came the other week, and same place, Freeman Coliseum. But I see that and everybody in their car, and so now they're having that with Vargas. But we're gonna open up, and so we're gonna be able to be a part of that. So.
Cool, man. Sure. Shout out to you.
Yeah, we're staying busy, trying to stay busy down here.
Cool, man. Was there anything else you want to plug on here before we let you off?
No, man. I hope you guys are doing good, man. It's good seeing y'all.
Yeah, you too, man. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. See when you take a trip up here again, so we can play again. You can stay on my couch otra vez.
Hey, let me sleep with the dog too.
Oh shit!
Oh,
sus.
He's not even
straight up, bro.
He's like,
oh shit.
He's like, I meant it.
No,
man.
You
got a cat too? No, never.
Yeah, I have a cat now too, bro. It's a little shit. Fuck. No, but yeah, man. I appreciate you taking the time to come on. CharroBeans, you're the second guest, man. So.
Nah, but man, thank you to y'all, man. This is a cool thing, and I remember when y'all set it up, I was like, man, look at these guys.
Yeah.
So that's cool, man. Y'all have a bunch of episodes. That's badass, bro. So y'all keep it going, man.
Yeah, man.
Keep doing y'all's thing, and thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. Hopefully we see you soon, and we appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah,
appreciate it.